Welcome back to the Elder Tree course on living well with chronic pain. In Lesson 7, we'll explore the power of connecting with others and why relationships of all kinds play such an important role in managing life with chronic pain. Research shows that people who have support from friends, family, and their community are healthier, happier, and live longer. They even have a lower risk of dementia. And for people with chronic pain, good social connections make pain less likely to interfere with daily life. You've probably felt how nice it is to receive a call from a niece or nephew, or to share a laugh with a neighbor. You know that human connection does your soul and body good. You've probably also felt the toll that chronic pain can take on relationships. You might have less energy for friends and family now. Some relationships might even have started to feel more stressful than supportive. It may seem easier to just pull away from others, but chronic pain does not have to isolate you. In this lesson, you'll find answers to these important questions. Why is clear communication so important for people with chronic pain? How can I ask for help when I need it and turn it down gracefully when I don't? And how can I make new friends and connections at my age? We'll start with a look at one of the foundations of good relationships, good communication. For everyone, it's important to feel cared for and understood by the people in our lives. What makes this possible is being able to talk openly and respectfully with each other. But pain can get in the way of good communication in many ways. When pain stirs up tough feelings, you may lash out without meaning to, or it may be difficult to put your feelings into words at all. Pain is a hard thing to talk about. And let's be honest, pain can be tough to hear about too. When you talk about your pain, you may end up feeling that people tune you out, or that others just don't understand what you're going through. The good news is that how you talk matters, and by communicating more effectively, you're more likely to receive understanding and support. If you're feeling tuned out or misunderstood, these tips may help. Go ahead and speak up. Others can only know how you feel if you tell them. Often we assume that the people close to us already know what we're thinking. It may feel frustrating to have to say things that seem obvious to you or that you've shared in the past. But the truth is, no one can read minds, even people we've known a long time. Telling others when you're in pain may be especially challenging. Sometimes it may seem easier to pull back and say as little as possible. But this can leave others in the dark about how to respond. They won't know unless you tell them how you're feeling. What does telling them how you're feeling actually mean? Listing symptoms or complaining is unlikely to help you feel a sense of connection or understanding, but a simple statement about what you're experiencing or what you need can open the door. I've been having a tough day, or my back is acting up. I'll need to take it easy today. Make it a point to listen, too. At times, pain may distract you and make it hard to focus on what others are saying. It may also make you irritable or impatient and more prone to interrupt. Unfortunately, this can make others feel bad and more likely to tune you out, too. By asking others what they're thinking or how they're feeling and really listening to their answers, you foster the connections that help you feel happier. Speak honestly and respectfully, using I statements rather than you statements. Here's an example of a you statement. You know I can't sleep when you have the TV on so loud. You're more likely to reach agreement with an I statement that avoids blaming the other person. I'm having trouble sleeping and the TV is making it harder for me. Keep the focus on the present. If you're having a disagreement, avoid bringing up issues from the past. You'll also want to steer clear of words like always and never, which tend to put others on the defensive. Finally, remember that improvement takes time. If your communication patterns with another person are well established, they may not change right away. You've changed how you communicate, but the other person will likely need a few tries before it feels like things are getting better. Just keep your focus on speaking in the most factual and respectful way you can. Hopefully, others will follow your constructive lead over time, but keep in mind that yours is the only behavior you can actually change. As the song goes, we all get by with a little help from our friends. In fact, studies show that helping someone else is almost guaranteed to make us feel good. We're wired to be helpful or altruistic. But as much as we like to give help, almost no one likes to ask for it. Why is that? Well, we may not want to put others out. We may not want them to know we can't do certain things for ourselves. We may feel resentful that we even need to ask. Why can't people just notice that you need help and offer it? Or it may be too painful to be told no. Studies show that the brain processes the pain of rejection in much the same way as physical pain. So instead of asking for the help we need, we try other strategies that generally don't work, such as staying quiet and hoping someone will notice. Or we hint, I don't know how I'm going to get the shopping done. We hedge, you're probably too busy, but... We apologize for needing help. I'm so sorry to ask. Or we make broad requests that people are likely to turn down only because they don't understand what's being asked of them. I could use some help with the housework. Then when we don't get the help we need, we feel even more frustrated or abandoned. The good news is there are other, more effective approaches. The following tips can help you feel more confident about asking for help and make it more likely you'll get the response you're hoping for. First, use words. People in pain often try to communicate their needs non-verbally through what are called pain behaviors such as groans, wincing, or guarded movements. The hope is that people will see they're in pain and offer help without specifically being asked. Unfortunately, pain behaviors like these may have the opposite effect, putting people off and making them less willing to lend a hand. As we discussed a few moments ago, it's best to go ahead and speak up. At the same time, though, avoid apologizing. I really hate to bother you. I feel terrible about this, but... Phrases like these make it seem you're wrong in some way for needing help, and of course you're not. This can have the effect of putting people on their guard or causing them to worry you're expecting too much. Instead, just be clear and specific about what you need. If possible, break tasks into parts that aren't too difficult to accomplish. For example, instead of asking in a general way for help, make more focused requests. Could you come to my doctor appointment with me tomorrow morning? Or, could you take the trash to the curb for me on Thursdays? This allows others to gauge how much time and energy a task will take and to plan accordingly. Make a phone call or ask for help in person. It may be easier to make a request in an email or a text, but it's also easier to say no in one, too. Studies show that if you ask face-to-face, you're 34 times more likely to hear yes. And finally, show your appreciation. This doesn't mean trying to pay back the person who helped you, which can have the effect of minimizing their generosity. Instead, show your thanks by praising what they were good at and describing how they've helped you. You're a whiz at reorganizing. I can reach all my dishes now and I know just where to find them. People not only like helping, they like knowing they made a difference in the life of someone they care about. Let's review what you've learned so far with a short quiz. Say the letter to choose an answer to each question, and then say, submit. Question 1. Which of these statements is true? A. People who care about you know how you feel. You don't have to tell them. B. It's important to say how you feel without blaming the other person. C. If someone has done something that has hurt or annoyed you, it's helpful to give examples of every time this has happened in the past. The true statement is B. Others cannot know exactly what you're feeling or thinking unless you tell them. But it's important to share your feelings without blaming others, and it's best to avoid raising issues from the past. Question 2. Which of these statements is more likely to get a positive response? A. You always walk so fast. What's your hurry? B. It's hard for me to walk very fast. I need to go a little more slowly. The correct answer is B. I statements that don't blame the other person are more likely to be effective. It's important to know how to ask for help. On the other hand, it's just as important to protect your independence, to know how and when to turn down help you don't need. Caring partners and friends may step in even when you haven't asked. They may try to do things for you that you can do yourself, though you may need to do them more slowly or make a few modifications. When others take over tasks we're able to do on our own, it can actually make us feel helpless. Also, it can take away opportunities for movement and set off the downward cycle of deconditioning we learned about in Lesson 4. That is, the fewer things you do regularly, the fewer things you become able to do. A study of couples in which one partner had chronic pain demonstrates how powerful this effect can be. Partners who responded in an overly protective way to their loved one's pain tended to do everything they could to prevent the pain from increasing, including taking over jobs or duties that the person was able to handle on their own. The partners also did not support self-care habits like exercise out of concern that the pain might get worse. But as we've learned, movement and exercise are essential for chronic pain management. Over time, chronic pain patients with overly helpful partners actually became more disabled by their pain than people with less helpful partners. They could do fewer daily tasks, became less active, and took more pain medication. By staying as mobile as possible and doing as much for ourselves as we can, we help decrease the power that pain has over our lives. But it's not easy to say no, especially to someone who genuinely wants to help. This is where an honest, non-blaming message comes in handy. Here are a couple of ways you might decline help without hurting the other person's feelings. Thanks so much, but I feel healthier when I do as much as I'm able to. Or, I think I can handle this, but it's wonderful to know I can count on you when I do need help. Before moving on in this lesson, take a moment to reflect on the kinds of help you do and don't need. Mentally prepare a few ways to communicate your needs to the people in your life when it's necessary. Clear, respectful communication will help you stay as active and healthy as possible. Life with chronic pain can be frustrating, to put it mildly. Dealing with friends and family who don't seem to understand what you're going through, or doctors who cannot offer full solutions, may only add to the frustration. So it's no surprise that anger is the negative emotion most commonly reported by people with chronic pain. Anger and irritation are not bad in themselves. They're normal, natural feelings that, when managed, can spark us to act and to make positive changes. But when anger and frustration are bottled up or expressed in thoughtless or explosive ways, they can have far-reaching effects on your health and relationships. Anger has been linked to increased levels of inflammation in the body. Anger can also raise your blood pressure and make pain more intense or last longer. And when it comes to relationships, uncontrolled anger may make it harder for your healthcare providers to support you and be responsive to your concerns. Anger that's not managed well can also cause stress or resentment between you and the people who are most important to you. The following steps can help you handle anger in a constructive way. First, take stock. What are the situations that tend to trigger your anger? If you often find yourself angry around certain people or in certain situations, plan ways to steer clear of these triggers. For example, if long lines shorten your temper, try arranging your day so you can avoid them. If a certain friend's political opinions set you off, plan a graceful way to change the subject. Well, we're probably never going to agree on that, so let's talk about something more fun. Know your warning signs. Anger often seems to come out of nowhere, but if you pay attention, your body often sends signals that your anger is on the rise. You may notice that your heart is beating faster, your lips are pressed together, or your neck or shoulder muscles are tensing up. By recognizing your warning signs early, you can take action to keep the anger from boiling over. Step away. If a situation is becoming too heated, go to another room. If you can't physically step away, separate yourself from the situation by taking a few breaths, exhaling deeply, or by doing something to distract yourself, such as looking out the window or at your phone. If you're with a family member or friend, explain that you're not trying to avoid them, you're just working to keep your temper in check. Agree on a time to talk later when you're both feeling more calm. Shift gears. It's natural to chew on an upsetting experience and mentally replay everything that made you angry. You may also be tempted to rehash the situation with a sympathetic friend, but beware. Dwelling on angry or negative thoughts keeps you stuck in a state of frustration. Instead, find a way to change your focus. Watch a TV show, do some chores, or take a walk. Movement is a great way to make use of the physical energy that anger can stir up. But avoid aggressive actions, such as slamming doors or even shouting into pillows. Studies show that venting your anger this way may only fuel it. Explore your feelings. Once you've calmed down, it's time to look a little more deeply at what sparked your anger. Anger can sometimes act as a shield to protect us from more painful emotions. For example, if someone forgets a plan you've made, you may lash out in anger rather than telling him or her how hurt or disappointed you are. Taking a good look at your true feelings can help you take the right next steps. Plan what's next. You may decide that better communication can help. If so, remember to express your feelings without blaming the other person or bringing up old disagreements. Keep in mind, though, that not every problem can be solved. The best way forward in such situations is not to look for a solution, but to focus on how you'll respond when things get tense. That may mean using relaxation techniques like the breathing or self-compassion exercises you've learned in previous lessons. It may mean changing your expectations so they're more in line with what's possible in the situation. Above all, it means remembering that while anger is normal, it doesn't have to get the last word in your life or relationships. The past few years may have taken a heavy toll on your friendships and social connections. On its own, of course, chronic pain can test relationships by reducing the amount of time and energy you have for others. Friends and family may pull back if they're confused by your condition or if communication between you has broken down. On top of that, the need for social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic created a huge obstacle to connection. If it's left you feeling a little lonely or isolated, there's one consolation. Most people are probably feeling the same way. If you're ready to reconnect, they probably are too. If you'd like to strengthen or rebuild relationships with others, try these suggestions. Take stock. First, ask yourself a few questions about the relationship. Is it one that can still truly be rewarding for you? If past interactions with this person were consistently disappointing or stressful, the answer may be no. If the answer is yes, reflect on why the relationship grew more distant. Was it simply due to conditions beyond your control, like the pandemic, or changes in your health or theirs? Or is there an unresolved disagreement you need to address? Take the initiative. Waiting for the other person to make the first move is safe, but it also cuts the chances of reconnecting in half. Someone has to reach out, and it might as well be you. Test the waters. If you haven't been in touch in a while, reach out in a small way. If you've heard your friend has a new grandchild, call to offer congratulations. If you've heard your friend has been ill, send a get well card. Or ask for a suggestion or recommendation. You always know the best restaurants. Can you suggest a place to take my nephew when he's in town? Brief conversations will pave the way for more personal interactions down the road. Keep your heart open. When you're ready to talk more personally, consider sharing the reasons you've gotten back in touch. I've been sidetracked by my medical issues, and I've really missed getting together. Apologize if need be. If there's been friction in the relationship, or if you've made a mistake, be ready to say you're sorry. Apologies are another place where someone has to go first. Go slow. Don't make too many plans or pour your heart out right at first. Allow yourselves time to gradually reconnect. Be ready for anything. Everyone's lives are changing all the time. After reconnecting with someone you haven't seen in a while, your friendship may not be the same as it was before. Or, despite your best efforts, the person might not be able or willing to pick up where you left off. If things don't go the way you hope, practice self-kindness and remind yourself that it's never too late to form new connections and make new friends. Let's pause again to review what you've learned. Question 1. Why is it important to know how to turn down offers of help? A. If others take over things you can do for yourself, it can leave you feeling helpless, and it can end up increasing the control that pain has over your life. B. It's awkward or embarrassing to need help. No one should know how hard things are for you. The correct answer is A. It's never wrong to need help or to accept help when necessary, but over time, unneeded help can backfire and actually increase the effects of chronic pain. Question 2. Which of these can help keep anger from affecting your relationships? A. Vent your anger by slamming a door, for example, or shouting. It's important to let your anger out so it doesn't build up. B. Complain about the problem to someone else. It's important to have somewhere to unload. C. Know your anger triggers and distract or separate yourself from the situation until you're more calm. The correct answer is C. Research shows that venting anger often increases it rather than diffusing it, and complaining to others can keep someone stuck in a state of frustration. By knowing your warning signs that anger is building, you can take steps to keep a tense situation from getting worse. As we get older, it might feel harder to meet new people and make new friends. You may get out less, or it may seem that everyone already has all the friends they need. But nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, many seniors struggle with loneliness and would welcome new friends. They just don't know how or where to find them. The American Association for Retired Persons, what most of us know as AARP, recommends these steps for building new bridges and expanding your circle. First, answer phone calls, emails, and texts. Someone may already be reaching out to you, and you won't reap the benefits if you don't reach back. Accept invitations. It is safer to stay home, especially if an event doesn't seem quite like your cup of tea, or you're afraid you won't know anyone there. But trying new things and meeting new people is the point. You never know where you might find your next friend. Take a class. Many colleges and universities allow seniors to audit courses for free. This means you can attend either in person or online, but don't have to take tests or do homework. There are also many continuing education programs for older adults, and community centers and fitness clubs are other great places to find classes specifically for seniors. Practice your faith. Most churches, synagogues, temples, and mosques work hard to make new people feel welcome. Feed your interests. Do you love birds, playing cards, quilting, or watching football? It's almost guaranteed there's a club somewhere full of other people who share your passion. As a result of the pandemic, many of these clubs now have meetings and events online, which may make them even easier to attend. The AARP online community at community.aarp.org is one good place to find like-minded people. Seek support. In a community with others who have chronic pain, you'll be able to share experiences and ideas with people who truly understand. The U.S. Pain Foundation offers peer support in person and over the phone through its program Pain Connection. More information is available at painconnection.org. The Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging also offers a group course on managing chronic pain that connects you with others right in your community. You can find more information online at the Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging website. Of course, you can also connect with kindred spirits right here in the Elder Tree discussion group. Finally, take a risk. Next time you meet someone you enjoy, ask for their phone number or email address and follow up with a joke, an interesting article, or even an invitation for coffee. Who knows? He or she may be ready for a new friend too. You've probably noticed that when you smile or make a silly face at a baby, the baby smiles or makes a silly face right back. Babies don't have to be taught how to do this. They just know. It's how we're wired as humans right from the start, to share emotions with others, to connect. Over time, though, we may close ourselves off and get out of the habit of connecting. During this course, we've explored the importance of building a sense of care and compassion for yourself. If we can widen that sense of care and compassion to include others who share our lives, we can feel more connected and less alone. This doesn't mean you have to suddenly start loving the whole world, but just opening your mind and heart a little bit can produce some positive changes. Like everything we're learning, it just takes a little practice. One way to do this is something called kindness meditation. Some studies have shown that practicing this type of meditation on a regular basis can help reduce symptoms of chronic pain. So let's try it together now. This meditation is adapted from the book You Are Not Your Pain. To get ready, just make yourself comfortable. Let's begin by resting our awareness in the breath. Feel your breath in the front, the back, the inside and outside of your chest and your belly. Let your breath be saturated with a feeling of warmth and kindness, the way the ocean is saturated with salt, or a spring breeze carries the scent of flowers. As much as you can, allow your thoughts, positive and negative, to just flow through you, not pushing away what's unpleasant or clinging to what's pleasant. Now bring to mind someone you like. It could be a friend or family member, a child you love, or even someone you don't know very well but have positive feelings for. Imagine inviting that person to sit with you here and now and feel their presence in whatever way is most powerful for you. Sit quietly with this person in your imagination, gently breathing together and reflecting on all that you share. You may look very different, and the details of your lives may be very different, but you are breathing in and out in exactly the same way. And beneath the obvious differences, you are very much alike. The person with you now has unpleasant experiences they try to push away, and pleasant experiences they try to cling to, just as you do. So see if you can reach beyond the sense of difference and separation that we usually feel toward others, and focus instead on what you share with this person. As much as you can, breathe in a strong sense of connection. Then breathe out kindness and well wishes toward them. See if everything you wish for, contentment, comfort, safety, you can now wish for this person. Now, see if you can expand your awareness so it radiates out from your body to include other people nearby. Maybe others in your household or neighborhood. Bring these people to life in your imagination. Each of them is a living, breathing human just like you. Everything you experience in your own life, they experience in their lives in their own way. They are breathing in and out every moment, just like you. They have painful and joyful moments, just like you. Spend a few moments just feeling the very basic things you have in common. Now, broaden your awareness further to include more and more people. See if, instead of feeling isolated amid them, you can focus on how alike we all are deep down. When we suffer, we know what it's like for others to suffer. When we feel joy, we know what it's like for others to have joy, and we can take delight in this too. Now, as you reflect on all that you share with others, breathe in a sense of interest and connection, and breathe out kindness and well wishes. As much as you're able, allow your well-wishing to flow equally toward everybody. people you know, people you don't know, people you like, people you don't like, people nearby, people far away, people living in peaceful places, people living in war zones. We are all human beings. We are all so similar. None of us wants to suffer, and we all want to be happy. Now, just rest your awareness in the sensations of your breath again. In and out. In and out. As much as you can, allow yourself to feel the sense of the whole world breathing with you, an endless, gentle movement and flow. As we bring this meditation to a close, gently open your eyes and move your body, seeing if you can take this sense of connection and common humanity with you as you return to your surroundings and go about your day. We hope you felt the kindness meditation was helpful, even in some small way. There's just one more lesson in your Living Well with Chronic Pain course. What's next? We'll talk about ways to carry what you've learned into daily life, how to get through pain flare-ups, and how to hold on to any benefits you've gotten from this program so far. Until then, why not try a new meditation or exercise in the Wellness Activities section of Elder Tree? Also, you can learn more about social connections by checking out the resources for this lesson. And, as always, join others on Elder Tree in the discussion groups. We're always glad to see you whenever you join us on Elder Tree.